Hey everyone, we're taking a look at page 29 in your lesson book. As you can see, we're doing even more exercises that are shifting between different positions, including second. Violas, you now have on your plate first, second, and third, and fifth. And cellos, you have all sorts of things that you're shifting to back and forth. So there's 3 melodies on this page. They're actually all really, really great melodies. They're fun to play, but there's a lot to learn from all of them. So taking a look at 130, you can see in our key signature we have a B flat. This is in the key of F major. And cellos, you start in first, which is nice. It's always kind of nice to start in first and have we feel comfortable in first and then do our shifting. Violas, we actually start right in second position, so we have to be ready to do that. If you take a look, this one's pretty straightforward, but as you get to measure, let's see, 11, they throw in an E flat, and then right after that in measure 12, there's a C sharp. So really thinking about how are you going to move your fingers so that you're playing those notes. Cellos, you actually have to shift, but violas, it's just a matter of moving one of our fingers back and moving one of our fingers up a little bit. You do the whole thing still in second position. So thinking about that, and then it does go back to an E natural in measure, I think that's 14. So like I said, the rest of this is pretty straightforward. So violas, let's find our first note. And cellos, you should have it because it's in first position. Okay, so 1, 2, here we go. Good. Hopefully you caught that E flat better than I did. I wasn't ready for it. I was looking ahead a little bit and I missed it. So just one more time because of my mistake. Let's go from measure 9, and I'm going to do it a little bit slower so we can really catch. We're just going to do 9, 10, 11, and 12. So here we go. E flat. Good. So the intervals there, actually, it's all half steps. There's an E flat, a D, and a C sharp. So violas, your fingers are actually all close together like that. That almost never happens. So that's a pretty unique spot in the music. Okay, moving on to 131. I really, really like this one. And let's see, it actually happens for both violas and cellos where there is an extended period where you kind of stay in one position to get practice. Not so much cellos. You actually do a lot of first position in this one. And then towards the end, you do a lot of shifting. But violas, you can see that almost the entire piece is in second position. Then something that might seem scary happens in measure 6. It goes to treble clef. And all of a sudden, you're having to play in treble clef and in second position. And then continuing in treble clef up to third and then fifth position. So this one is pretty tough on our violas. Cellos, you're playing it an octave lower. So you get to hang out in and nothing higher than fourth position. If you were playing this on your A string, having to use your A string like the violas are, you would be going up to like seventh position. So I guess be happy that they didn't write it for you that way for our cellos. Okay, so violas and cellos, both of you, we need to find our first note because it's not in first position. We have to make sure we're playing the right note. So it should be a G. So make sure you have that. And I'm going to play through this. This actually is not a very fast melody anyway, but I'm going to play through it at a pretty moderate tempo. You might need to slow down and just do these little groups of 16th notes because there's a lot coming up, especially as we get to around measures 4 and 5. Okay, but this is so you can hear what it's supposed to sound like. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so like I said, a lot going on there. If there's things you struggled with, maybe let's say you struggled with measure 5. I always break it down and say what types of groups are there here. So measure 5, it looks to me like there's 4 groups of 16th notes. So I would work on each one of those. And you actually can see there's kind of a pattern, at least for the first 2, right? So I'd find my B flat with my 4th finger, and I'd just do the first group. And make sure I have it down and make sure I'm having the right intervals between my fingers, right? This should be in a 3/4 pattern. Then I'd go to the next group, and before I even play the next group, I'd say, oh wait, there's an F sharp in there. That means I need to move my first finger up a little bit to catch that F sharp. And then maybe put them together, those 2 groups. And going on from there. So you don't always, when you're practicing, have to play straight through. Take measures, and even in this piece, a measure has a lot in it. So take measures, but also break the measures down into smaller parts too. All right, last one here. 132. One thing I wanted to mention, because I've seen this happen with a lot of students in the last couple of weeks. I think some people have a backwards understanding of a trill. So a trill means that you play the bass note, the note that's written, and then you go up and you trill between that note and the higher note. I've seen a lot of people trill lower, and that's not what this music is asking us to do when it says trill. So for example, if everyone can find the trill in measure 1, violas, you'll be playing that with your 2nd finger because you're in 2nd position. And cellos, it looks like you'll be playing that with your 3rd finger because you are in, you'll be playing that with your 2nd finger. You're in 2nd extended position, okay? So we're going to trill from this G to the next highest note, and it follows the key signature. So after G is A. If the key said A flat, we would go to A flat like this. But the key says A natural, so and you just go up to the next note. So don't go down, don't trill like this. It goes up. Hopefully we all have that down. Again, this one is just shifting all over the place. Cellos, you have a lot of shifting. And so just do your best. This one, again, is slow. Break it down. Like I'm looking at, for cellos, measure 2, you go from 4th position back to 2nd extended, back to 4th position in one measure. So really, really break it down and make sure you have that down, okay? Here we go. All right, find that first note. Find our A with our 3rd finger if you're a viola, or with your 1st finger if you're a cello. This should match your open A string, so that's a good way to find it. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Oops, sorry. And skip the repeat, keep going to measure 9. Okay, so those are the 3 melodies on page 29. Again, work through them slowly, get those the different shifts down perfectly, and we'll play through them together at our lesson.